everyone, welcome back to Bookish Blonde. It's Jen. So today I have October's theme word. It is ominous. I could not pick a October vibe, spooky vibe word. So we're gonna go with ominous October. So these, let's see, I have I have 5 books here that I want to recommend off my shelves. And these are gonna be, you know, mystery, thriller, suspense, verging on the edge of like horror in some of these situations. We're going to have very haunting, chilling, eerie vibes, sinister, menacing kind of atmospheres and characters. And I loved each and every one. So let's just start. Actually, that's a lie. I have read 3 of these and really loved them, and the other 2 I have not read. So, okay, the first book I want to talk about that has an ominous vibe for sure is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. So this book, I feel, out of all her mystery thrillers, is the most ominous. You're going to get haunting, forbidden, like religious reckoning, occult killer style vibes in this one. I loved it, gave it 5 stars. It takes place in a Louisiana town. You have that swampy gothic southern feeling. You have ancient myths in here. You have a killer that is stalking this small community. It definitely is horror adjacent. So if you haven't dabbled in a horror or horror is not your thing, this would give you a little bit of a taste of it. I feel like this could be a good book for maybe someone who wants to get into more of the horrific horror style vibe subgenre of thriller mysteries. But definitely creepy, unsettling, atmospheric. It's a very compelling story about this small town and the occult and the evil and religious fundamentalist stuff that goes on and how sometimes that can overtake people without much reason. We're going to leave it at that. Highly recommend this one. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is Christina Henry, Near the Bone. I love this when I read it. It definitely had a horror vibe for me. This is going to be more survival horror mixed with like monster abuse. Okay, you're following Maddie. She is trapped with an abusive husband on this mountain. You have obviously very raw and chilling vibes. You can tell by this cover. And this book does such a good job of mixing psychological horror with monster horror. There's this possible creature in the woods. You have the worst grim sense of being trapped in this book. And it's definitely a chilling, haunting vibe for sure. Very ominous setting. Highly recommend this one as well. Okay, the next book is The Clinic by Kate Quinn. This is one I have not read, but I grabbed because the cover looks ominous to me. And as I was reminding myself what this is about and doing a little bit of research, we have a remote rehab clinic. We have a girl whose sister was in this rehab clinic, died by suicide. She checks herself in to kind of investigate because she doesn't believe that is the truth. This place is more prison than recovery. It's definitely institutional horror mixed. You have themes of addiction in here. You have a psychological ominous setting here for sure. It's supposed to be this place for healing, right? But there's this like ominous sense of like secrets behind every door, this remote, isolated feeling. You have vulnerable, flawed characters by default because they're in this clinic. There's a storm, there's isolation. I love institutional creepiness. It's one of my favorite. Psychological horror is probably my favorite horror, and I know I don't read a ton of it, but I am gravitated to the psychological, institutional type thrillers. This one's going to have a lot of psychological tension, or so I've been told, and you're kind of, you know, you're watching these characters, our main character, kind of lose her grip on reality as she continues to dig deeper into what happened to her sister. Can't wait to pick that one up. Next one, the other one I haven't read, is Little Eve by Katrina Ward. Katrina Ward writes horror. I have this on my shelves along with The Last House on Needless Street. To me, this was just, I don't know, it's a remote Scottish island, which I'm already set. I think this is going to be the most gothic, like traditional gothic horror out of this list. It's definitely creepy. Like I said, remote Scottish island. You're going to get themes of childhood trauma in here, themes of the occult, and I think like just definitely that gothic vibe. You have cultish rituals, a big sense of foreboding in here. You have manipulation, delusion, ritualistic behaviors in here, and the reviews I keep reading about this is just that such a sense of foreboding throughout this whole buildup of this book. So definitely creepy and unsettling. Yeah, I can't wait to pick that one up. Okay, last but not least is Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. 5 stars and a 5-star movie. Watch this movie if you haven't seen it already. This book was amazing too, but it'd be fun to read this and watch the movie if you haven't read this already. The ominous part in here is definitely that same institutional horror like I was talking about. You're going to have some mind-bending things in this book as a reader. Institutional horror again, and definitely a sense of isolation. It's a hospital for the criminally insane on a remote island. And there's some stuff going on, so you enter 2 police officers that go to this remote island to try to figure out what is going on. There's definitely such a strong, eerie sense of paranoia. That's the word I want. The paranoia buildup in this book is, I mean, goosebumps on your flesh, like for sure. Characters are both trapped physically in this institution on this island, but they're also trapped mentally, which is where that psychological part of it comes in. Definitely a sense of just wrongness. This one was definitely just deep down disturbing and downright horrifying, in my opinion. Cannot recommend this one enough. So there you have it. There are some ominous October titles for you. Have you read any of these? Love chatting down below, of course. If you've made it this far and you don't feel chatty, put a ghost emoji or haunted house emoji, something spooky October vibes. I hope you guys are reading something amazing in October, and thanks as always for your support and watching my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy reading. Bye.